The outsider walks among us, and he is turning all the knobs and pulling all the levers. Our destiny is not our own, and free will is a lie. Or is it?
One more job shouldn't have mattered. I'd killed nobles before. You could float a whaling ship on the high-born blood I've spilled. Another noble steps in to replace the last one. All equally corrupt. Why should an empress be different? But she was. I watched her bodyguard's face as they took him away. Dead eyes. I knew I'd pay for this one. Maybe I deserved to. A storm was coming that would shake apart everything I'd built.
No! Get away from her! Torvo! Mommy!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the second part of the Dishonored series. Today we'll be diving into the DLC, the Knife of Dunwall and the Brigmore Witches. So consider this your cursory spoiler alert. And as per the contract I signed before I started recording, I will be holding any of my own judgments or criticisms until the end of my TED Talk. Now, without further ado, let us step into the boots of Daud, the man who murdered the Empress. What the? Oh, please tell me this is not another damn tutorial mission.
Daud, my old friend. It's been a long while. The Empress was different. This time, you can't just fade away into the shadows. There will be consequences. I'm here to give you one last gift, Daud. It's a mystery. One that starts with a name. Delilah.
Off Delilah. One of the major differences I noticed right away when I began playing the DLC is that, well, there's actually voiceovers in between the game cutscenes and mission areas, which I feel is important because it makes the game that much easier to integrate with. While yes, I understand that part of the game's brooding charm is that, well, your character doesn't really say anything. And yes, I get it, it's a stealth game. You're not supposed to talk, you're supposed to kill people. I feel like if you have the voiceovers, if there's more dialogue you get from the game character that you're playing, it brings you into the universe more. And despite all of its magnificence and the innovative qualities it brought to the table, Skyrim is a difficult game to integrate with, I believe, for that exact reason. You're basically just a passive observer, watching your game character slaughter all the dragons and chickens it finds.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
Anyway, after your visit from the outsider, Daud gives you an interesting lecture about his penitent attitude, and tells you about how the city's writhing and changing. Information came down from Billy Lurk. Bundry Rothwild, the owner of the slaughterhouse, might have information about Delilah. So off we go!
Daud, you're here. I got bored, so I started without you. Turns out we're here on the perfect day. There's a strike at the plant.
So you sneak into the plant and you come across these freak shows with chainsaws. And if that wasn't bad enough, the administrator of this plant also has whales bleeding to death on the floor. Leave the whales alone, man! And just in case you didn't know if Rothwild was a contemptible bastard before, just listen to this audiograph that he recorded.
Killed 100 of your kind, and I'll kill 1,000 more before I'm done.
So you find the bastard and a woman who might have information to help you.
You don't know Ramsay. When he comes for me, he'll kill you.
Now it comes out. No one is coming. I've broken your strike, and my butchers are the finest fighters in Dunwall.
Let me tell you a secret, Rothwild. You're wrong.
Well, Daud, what do you want with me?
I'm not here for you.
And just like the main game, there are non-lethal options for every single assassination.
What do you want to know that's worth crossing a man like me?
I want to know about a ship named Delilah. What's behind the name?
The previous owner named it after some sweetheart of his painting. Piss off!
Who was the previous owner?
Barrister Timsh, all right?
Why, thank you for your cooperation. Oh, damn, you're heavy. A little cardio wouldn't kill you now and again. Sayonara, you sadistic whale-butchering son of a bitch.
As a young girl, Delilah was a baker's apprentice in Dunwall Tower. Years later, a painter in Sokolov Circle. Barrister Arnold Timsh paid her to paint portraits, and now he was making a second fortune, seizing the assets of plague victims for the Lord Regent. But Barrister Timsh was also fighting a private war with his own niece. We needed to speak with the niece first. Her feud with the old barrister was something we could use. I got a message to the barrister's niece, and she claimed to know things about Delilah. I went to meet her.
Look at you, the master assassin. So you want to know about Delilah? Well, my uncle is bewitched by her, so we won't tell you anything. I require only 2 things. Get rid of my uncle, and bring me his last will and testament.
Okay, Bet, now what the hell happened to your nose? And just like the base game, there are multiple avenues you can take to complete each objective. You don't necessarily have to kill everyone you meet.
Daud, isn't it? You wouldn't be in this district unless you were after Timsh's head.
What do you want?
Revenge. To do to Timsh what he did to me. I want him homeless, a victim of one of his own eviction documents.
Now, while you're on your way to go and collect Barrister Timsh and his last will and testament, you come across this interesting little ditty.
Who are you?
I understand your curiosity. I was a baker's apprentice in Dunwall Tower. A friend to Jessamine when we were girls. I ought to just kill you. But I'm going to give you a warning for the sake of my sisters, who were very impressed with you once upon a time. Stay away from me. There are great changes coming, and I'll expect you not to interfere. I have influence in places you won't expect.
Well, now I can't leave it alone. I'm sure this won't come back to bite me in the ass. Anyway, let's go, Timid Timsh. We have paper to find. Well, this isn't paper, but it'll do.
Here's one last lesson, for old time's sake. The barrister was a champion at finding his enemies' weak points, but he didn't see Delilah as a threat until it was too late. You've got Rothwild packed into a crate, bound for the frozen north, Daud. Surprisingly clean work for a man with so much blood on his hands. Did the Empress change you? Or do you think this will help you dodge what's coming? You'd better hurry. You're running out of rope.
Stupid outsider. I have plenty of rope. What's he talking about? Yeah, take the stupid will to Talia. Ugh.
The barrister's enemies caught up to him. He's in custody as a plague victim. Here's the will as
That'll
agreed.
do nicely. Perhaps better. But you were promised information. Well, my uncle came under Delilah's spell. We saw her as if she was very far away, standing in the old Brigmore manor, painting at an easel, painting a name. It was your name, Daud.
Well, if Daud's not gonna say it, then I am. That was creepy as hell.
Maybe today was the end of that small world. I thought of Jessamine Kaldwin's hands shuddering as she lost her grip on life. Whatever doom was coming, I deserved it. My people didn't.
Ah, home sweet home. Just want a nice warm bubble bath, a nice tall glass of Pinot Noir, that's all I...
Daud, we've been attacked. Overseers are tearing the place apart.
Damn it! Why can't I have anything my way?
They're holding our remaining men, and their leader is in your chambers as we speak.
I want to know how the bastards found us in the first place.
And after I remove my foot from his ass, I will have my damn bubble bath!
So you free your boys, you discover the assault plans, and Daud comes to a shocking realization.
This map shows a coordinated sweep of the flooded district. But the overseers here didn't stick to the plan. Someone must have tipped them off.
If the word, sir. What's our next move?
Capture as many as you can. Their plans are ruined.
Well, this ought to be good.
Give me a report.
We'll take the Overseer who led the attack and find out what else he knows. This Overseer Hume went against orders and attacked early. Our men, the ones you freed, were able to rout the remaining zealots.
How did the cursed Overseers find us?
It's my fault. I told Delilah where we were hidden.
I have influence in places you won't expect.
Well, now I can't leave it alone. I'm sure this won't come back to bite me in the ass.
Well, what do you know? It came back to bite me in the ass.
She wanted me to turn on you.
You did this.
But I can't go through with it.
Stupid child. All you had to do was cut his throat.
He deserves better. I was an idiot to listen to you.
Daud. Her betrayal would have been the sweetest. But either way, the Brigmore witches will be your end. Delilah made contact with the Overseers. I thought, between the three of us, we'd have you dead to rights. My life is yours now. Kill me, or let me live. If it even matters to you. Touching and pathetic.
I mean, I hate to agree with the enemy here, but yeah, that is pretty pathetic.
If I see either of you again, I'll tear out your stone-cold hearts and walk in your skin.
I forgive you. Get out of here. Leave the city. Leave my sight, Billy. I give you your life.
Consider this a clear division in the video. This is the end of the Knife of Dunwall. From now on, it is the Brigmore Witches, which is by far and away my favorite of the DLCs. As I said before though, I will be holding any of my own judgments or criticisms until the end of the video.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down, and I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. The men are recovering well from the attack, but they don't understand the danger they're in. My mother warned me never to make an enemy of a witch. Corvo, here to settle our debt.
Eat. Ah! Why are you standing there watching me sleep? You know, sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
I found Lizzie Stride. Getting her to lend us her boat will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge.
Well, if Corvo got out, then I'm going in.
Delilah doesn't leave Brigmore Manor anymore. She doesn't have to. Which means I have to come to her. The manor's upriver, far out past the quarantine line. I'll need a ship. It's a reflection of Dunwall. Or perhaps myself. That after all these years, the best choice I have is Lizzie Stride. And Lizzie Stride is in jail.
You sneak up the same rock wall that Corvo jumped down in his initial escape from Coldridge Prison. Irritatingly, the guards are playing Overseer music, so you can't just blink within the confines of the prison, you actually have to infiltrate it without powers. Once you're inside, you get your powers back, and you come across something interesting. The first real sign of the Brigmore Witches being a slightly different foe.
Doesn't look like much, does she? Comfortable? All right, we'll get this done. going to? Oh no! Oh no! Shoot her! Shoot her! Shoot!
Well, damn, I'm almost excited to meet the witches now. After unlocking Lizzie Stride's cell door, you go to meet with her.
Wake up, Lizzie.
I'm not telling shit. Wait.
Daud.
Is that right? Whoever sent you, I'll pay double.
I've come to break you out. You can owe me the favor.
What kind?
It's just a boat trip. Upriver. Past the blockades.
Yeah. I think
I'll have to carry her out.
And so you do. Unfortunately, you have to get a boat back before you can actually go upriver. So off we go.
It's the kind of thing that happens every day in Dunwall. But I need that boat. Edgar Wakefield and I have business.
So you sneak aboard the boat, you find the guy who stole it from Lizzie, and then signal her with this irritating horn.
Your friend Edgar Wakefield sent me up to be taken by the City Watch, and you followed him. But you know what? I forgive you, but the following people each owe me a finger. Logan, Douglas, Bang Bang, Ferris, Cakeface, the Bakers, and Annabelle. Shit. 2 from you, Annabelle. Have a good night.
But of course, no mission would be complete without a fetch quest of some kind. This one is fetching an engine coil for the ship so you can actually go to Brigmore Manor. Whilst you're wading through the sewers looking for another item in your fetch quest, you come across 2 Brigmore witches waiting in ambush.
Why else would she put us here, right in his path? I wish he'd hurry up and come already.
Oh, these chicks are 100% vampires. You find the engine coil, you bring it back to Lizzie, and off you go to Brigmore Manor.
The Brigmores were an ancient family, bankrupted a generation ago. Since then, the manor has housed 2 street gangs, a smuggling ring, innumerable rats, and the Brigmore witches. I'd always left them alone, but now a painter named Delilah had taken up witchcraft and formed a coven. She was trying something. A ritual. But what kind? The outsider knows. I cannot abide a mystery.
The mission at the Brigmore Manor is perhaps one of the coolest missions in the entire game. It's one of those keystone missions, sort of like in Modern Warfare, the first one, the sniper mission.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Well, that's this mission in Dishonored. The area and atmosphere is just so damn cool. I mean, look at this fog simulation. It's awesome. The entire level looks like this. And I am certainly not mad about the character design for the witches. No, seriously, I'm not mad. Do y'all remember the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo?
Hit it, sisters.
These things, however, are absolutely the spawn of Satan. Don't get me wrong, I love my dogs, but these things are an abomination.
Away from me, back to the depths of hell.
Plus, as you go throughout this mission, there's just such cool areas, even though said areas are completely infested with witches. And predictably, the interior is no different. So you explore throughout the magical, demilitarized-looking mansion, and come across key mission details about what exactly Delilah is planning. Now that the painting is finished, I will sit in young Lady Emily's skin and wear her face like a mumma's mask. Havelock and his lick spittles will put the child on the throne, but it is me they will be crowning. Huh? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Let's get in there, Daud.
You have many talents, Daud, and they've served you. I gave you Delilah's name, and you followed it to this moment. You see now what hangs in the balance. Emily's life, Delilah's ambition, an empire in the act of crumbling. But I will watch this with unusual attention.
see what you've really got, Delilah?
Yes, indeed. Let's lay our cards on the table, woman. Oh, come on!
No! You can't do this! She took my life.
Perhaps she did, but you took my bubble bath away from me, and so there must be retribution. Nighty-night, Delilah. Tell me what it's like in New York City.
Paint flows. Blood flows. Life goes. Out with the old. In with the new. You've lived in these bones long enough.
I'll find you. I will not be beaten. First you fall. I will not.
No one will ever know exactly what it took to save Emily Kaldwin from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation. I've learned that our choices always matter. To someone. Somewhere. And sooner or later, in ways we can't always fathom, the consequences come back to us. I came from Serkonos to Dunwall as a boy. Made my living as a killer. One of the few who've heard the outsider's voice. I murdered an empress, but saved her daughter, who will one day rule the empire. Those were my choices. I'm ready for what comes. Surprise for you. I ask for my life, so my life is in your hands. Make your choice. And you choose mercy. Extraordinary.
Why, you cheeky son of a bitch. Now do you understand why I let Daud live in my Dishonored video? Yeah, I get it, you dickwaffle. You wanted to keep the story continuous, alright? I get it. Now get out of my video. And there it is, 2 DLC up, 2 DLC down. All in all, I really enjoyed the DLC. The Brigmore witches, admittedly more than the Knife of Dunwall. The combination of incredible level design and the visuals and the wrapping up of this sort of side story to the main one completely knocked it out of the park. A bit of an interesting tangent to take off of that note, the development team for Dishonored actually used the DLC of the first game as sort of a testing ground for the sort of decisions they were making for the creative direction of the second game. And if you wait for a couple more years, you can see my video about Dishonored 2 and really draw the parallels between Dishonored 1 DLC and the second game. Now that we've completed the entirety of the first Dishonored game, I need to start sorting the games I play and review into a definitive hierarchy of best games ever made. For the base game, I would rate it a solid 10 out of 10, would sneak again. The Knife of Dunwall, 4 out of 10, save the whales. And the Brigmore witches, 10 out of 10, would vampire again. Okay, this video is rapidly approaching 25 minutes, okay? So like the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and if you haven't already, go ahead and watch the first Dishonored video. I'll leave it on the end card. Do not trust those freaking dogs.